Hello and welcome back to the Calm and Connected podcast. This summer, I wanted to support the adults who listen to this podcast. I'm talking to the educators, the teachers, the counselors, the other mental health professionals, the occupational therapists, the speech and language pathologists, and the family members who listen because they are looking for support for their kids and teens. One thing that often happens as adults is that we tend to put our own needs in the back burner and we don't take time to rest and recharge. This summer, I want to encourage you to find coping skills that work for you. Throughout the whole summer, I'm resharing a series I did a little bit ago called Coping Skills for Adults. And really what I'm doing is going through the coping styles that I use in Coping Skills for Kids, but I'm turning it to us and thinking about what strategies will work for us, what is going to help us rest and recharge and re-energize before the beginning of the next school year. This is one of the first steps I'm taking to support the adults, so I'm also working on a book to help support the adults. If you'd like to learn more about the book or share your coping skills with me anonymously, you can visit Coping Skills for Kids, and under products there is a section called Coping Skills for Adults. There you'll find a survey that you can take and share your coping skills with me anonymously, and also you'll be able to sign up for my newsletter and get a free brainstorming sheet to help you think of your own strategies to help you rest, relax, and re-energize before the next school year. I wish you a happy and calm summer. So today we're going to focus on relaxation strategies. And before I really dive into the relaxation strategies, I just want to help you understand why it's helpful to have a variety of strategies because different things will work for you on different days, and it depends on what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and even honestly how much time you have. So it's good to have a variety of skills, and I also want you, as you're working through this and you're thinking about what's going to work for yourself, think about what actually works for you, not what you think you should do or what you think other people are doing on Instagram and it looks really cool, or what other people are saying you should really do, but like, what is your body, what is your mind, what is your heart, what is your soul enjoy? Because everybody is different. Not everybody enjoys the same thing. So I'll just use myself as an example. So for me, I like to talk about imagining your favorite place. It's a strategy I use all the time with kids. It's a strategy I use myself. And when I talk with other people, a lot of times, especially where I live, people talk about the beach as their favorite place, as their calm place. They love watching the waves. They love splashing in the water. They love sitting in the sun. And to be honest with you, the beach is not my favorite place at all. It actually is not a place that I find relaxing or calm. I'd much rather be on a hike in the woods or sitting by a lake reading a book. So I have realized that about myself as I have gotten older, and although, a lot of people around me are talking about, oh, the beach is so great, the beach is relaxing, the beach is wonderful, and I just have to recognize it's wonderful and amazing and great for them, but it's not for me. And so I encourage you to do the same, to think about what works for you, what works for your body, what works for your energy, for your soul, for your mind, what helps you versus what other people are saying helps them. So I wanted to talk about 3 different strategies that I use with kids, but also I've used with adults. And actually, these are strategies that I learned about from adult clients of mine. Now, most of the time I do see children and teens, but every once in a while, throughout my career, I've had an opportunity to have some young adult and adult clients. So it was interesting talking with them, and this is why I know that coping skills work for all these different ages, because I did this. I did this working with kids, I've done this working with teens, and I've also done it working with adults. So I know that it works. And I'm always fascinated to see what my clients tell me and share with me about what works for them. So I was seeing a young adult client in her early 20s. She was had a lot of anxiety. She was a nanny and she was working with kids, little kids, but she would sometimes get really anxious when she was there working with the kids for different reasons. So we talked about what was going to work for her. And just in a general sort of like, well, what already does work so we can build on that or figure out what else we can do to make it a little bit easier. And she said one of the things that really helps her is tracing patterns. So she would trace patterns in the carpet when she was sitting on the floor with the kids. She would trace shapes, she would trace letters, she would trace numbers. And that was something that really helped her calm down and helped her relax. And I did a little bit of looking around and research, and there is something to this like repetitive, um, like the repetitiveness of making a shape. It can be calming, it can be soothing to make those shapes, to trace patterns, and especially patterns that don't, that are sort of patterns you can keep going over and over again, not patterns that end, but patterns that you can keep moving and doing. So I think I've included that in the Coping Skills for Teens workbook. So, and I think in Coping Skills for Kids as well. So I love that strategy, and it came directly from a client. And then I did a little bit more looking around and definitely found that it was not unusual or unique that this was a strategy that people were using. Another strategy I like to use is body scan. So again, it was an adult client that I was seeing, and I talked about progressive muscle relaxation. I really like doing progressive muscle relaxation. It was one of the first strategies I learned in college. I remember my professor actually had us all lay down, and he read a progressive muscle relaxation to us. And it was so amazing. And I was like, I have to, when I'm working with people, I want to make sure that they do this, right? So I was meeting with a new client, and I talked about progressive muscle relaxation, and she's like, I can't do that one. When I try it, I've tried it before, other therapists have tried it with me, and my muscles get too tense and it's actually not relaxing for me. So then I went on this hunt of, okay, well, what can I do to help her relax her muscles? But that is still something that is relaxing, but without the squeezing. And that's when I found body scans. So basically, what you do when you do a body scan is you don't tense up the muscles. What you do is you imagine a warm light or warmth going through the different parts of your body, and then you just sort of let your muscles relax as the warmth goes to your body. So you think about a warm light or warmth going to your shoulders, then you relax your shoulders. You think warm light going to your arms, then you relax your arms. And you go through the entire body until you have relaxed your entire body. And that was something that actually really worked for her. She was really thrilled that she was able to find something that worked for her, that didn't include the tensing and the releasing of muscles. The final strategy I want to share with you is grounding techniques. So this is something that I've used with kids and adults, and it's a way that you can stay focused on the present moment, especially if you're thinking a lot and feeling overwhelmed about the future or things that have happened in the past, and you just can't clear your mind, or it's hard for you to focus. Sometimes doing a grounding technique can be really helpful. And I like grounding techniques because, again, it's one of those strategies that it doesn't require anything. It just requires you to use your mind to do it. So I've had clients talk about finding shapes in the room, like find all the squares in the room, or finding colors. So you say, like, find all the orange things. You say to yourself, find all the orange things. So you say, you find that box is orange, that cup is orange, the printer is orange. So you keep looking for different colors to keep you in the present moment. Or you can name things that you see around you. So you could say, I see the glasses case, I see the remote, I see the pencil. And you just try and stay focused on your present moment as opposed to thinking about other things that are going on in the future. And it can help you a lot with just being able to be mindful in the moment. It's sort of related to mindfulness in that way, but it's really meant to help you sort of calm down, and hopefully within a few minutes you'll feel in a better space. Sometimes I've actually seen this strategy used on a TV show. It's a TV show probably nobody has ever heard of called Hidden. It was on Acorn TV. I think it's Welsh. Yes, it's part. Some of it is in Welsh, so it's kind of cool. But there is a girl who was trapped someplace and she couldn't get out. And one of the things that she would do every morning is she would name the things in the room to help her stay grounded. So just interesting. I always sort of pick up on where I see those things when I'm noticing somebody is using a coping skill. So I think it's really cool. Um, and I want to encourage you to figure out what works for you. So as part of the series, I have created a free brainstorming worksheet that you can use to figure out what your coping skills are and what other ideas that you could have that might be relaxing and calming and energizing for you and help you reset. So that's going to be, I have a free link in the show notes that you can go and get that. If you like this podcast, please feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. I would really appreciate that. And one last thing, don't forget about yourself. Take a few minutes, have a little fun, and have an awesome day.